Hello everyone and greetings from the Aztec, Maya, and Inca libguide. Here I will show you how to use Project Muse, muse.jhu.edu, a great secondary source database aimed for university students filled with peer-reviewed scholarly journals and books to help you with your research. What is Project Muse? This database is a subscription-based service that most universities have access to, or the user can pay a rental fee to view the sources and is also mobile friendly. You can log in by either using your campus network or, if you are a student or alumni, use your institutional login. For those who are trying to use Project Muse who are not affiliated with an institution subscription, there is also a 45-day trial option. How to log in. First, let's start off on how to log in. If you have not yet connected to the Project Muse database, up at the top it will say, "We cannot verify your location." Click Login and type in your university name. However, some of you might notice that if you type, for example, the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, it doesn't show up. If your university isn't listed, don't freak out yet. Your university may still have a subscription but just isn't listed, so you will have to find it on your library's website. For those whose university isn't listed, search your library's database collection, or you can use Google. For the University of Greensboro, UNCG, type Library UNCG Project Muse, and it's the first link. Click Search this database, enter your institution ID, and then at the top of Project Muse, access provided by will be listed and you will have access to its resources. After you log in, it will bring you to a browse page full of research areas and topics. For the libguide's topic, the ancient Aztecs, Mayas, and Incas, one's first impulse might be to click Latin America and Caribbean history. If you are trying to research post-colonial South America, after the area was invaded and conquered by the Europeans, especially the Spanish, you might want to click that link. However, as you can see, the link contains mostly post-colonial sources, while our libguide focuses on pre-colonial history. Even though you are already logged in, depending on your university's subscription, you may still have only partial access to some books and journals. The green check mark means you have full complete access, while the red lock means that material is not included in your subscription. How to search. Now let's start researching. The easiest way to search is simply type in the name of one of the groups of native peoples. You can see that when you type it in, it drops down with suggested search options, which are great if you need a little help on finding specific information. You can also save your search using the bookmark or favorites option at the top. On the side, you can see the search is automatically done by relevance, and you might be tempted to try the newest first option. However, this brings on more newly published entries. But as you read on about each sources, typing Control F Aztec, you can see that it's not really relating to the Aztecs except for a few sentences. Moving on, to help narrow down your search are the facet checkpoint options on the left. Make sure to check the Only Content I Have Access To button to take away any resources that your institution might not have subscribed to. If a professor has a specific requirement amount for books or journal articles, be sure to check mark what you think to narrow it down as well. If you have a specific topic such as literature, social sciences, women's studies, and religion, there are boxes you can use as well. The author tab doesn't really matter unless you're searching for a particular book, and the publisher tab doesn't matter either unless your university has a requirement for only resources published by your university. Further along at the bottom, there's a year drop-down box to also help you narrow down your publishing years. For searching, if you want to search a phrase, put quotations around the term such as Aztec philosophy if you want that exact order of terms. To combine terms, you don't have to type "an" in between, but just Aztec philosophy rather than Aztec and philosophy. On the side is content, title, author, and publisher, which can also help you when searching. Now let's actually take a look at an article. We'll use Time, History, and Belief in Aztec and Colonial Mexico, a book review. Book reviews are great because the authors of them have already read the material for you, and you can cite the review as a secondary source. Also, I recommend reading book reviews first to get an idea of whether a book, especially if it's long, will actually be beneficiary to you or not, depending on its information. For articles, both the standard text HTML and the PDF, the portable document format, are available for you to access, download, and print an unlimited amount of times. I recommend using the actual PDF for citing page numbers because they are easy to see on the printed version rather than wading through the HTML version. At the bottom of the page is a preview what the actual PDF looks like, and on the side is related content, which generally always has good books or articles relating to what you just searched previously. How to cite. While bibliographical information is listed at the top for your citations to do manually, Project Muse also has a great built-in citation maker for you in MLA, APA, Chicago, and EndNote for exporting to sites such as ProQuest Flow so you can share your citation sources with others. There's also other tabs such as Search Inside This Book, where you can search names and words, and Book Details, which lists the ISBN and the page number count. The Save Citation feature, which is right underneath the picture of the cover of the book, can also help you organize your citation sources. Once saved, click the Save Citations at the top and you can see your type of source, such as whether it was a book, an article, and you can also see the title as well. You can export it to RefWorks, EndNote, or even an email address. Finally, going back to the search page, you can also use the Save All Citations button if you want to save all items that appear in your search. This way, you can also go back to what you were looking at before by clicking the title hyperlink under Save Citations. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a better understanding of how to use Project Muse.